Hey guys, it's Taku. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I am here to recap all of the reads that I read for the Manga Love Readathon hosted by SheGeeksOut. This readathon was 3 days. It started on the 12th and ended on the 14th, which was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this past weekend. I had a lot of fun sitting down and reading my manga. You know, one of my goals this year is to go through my shelves and, pick up every single book that hasn't been touched, hasn't been read, and give it a read. And, readathons are amazing ways to tackle either backlog, especially if yours has grown large over the past year like mine has. I had 12 volumes lined up for the readathon that I posted on Instagram as sort of my TBR, and I was able to get to 11 of those reads, which I think was super awesome. Again, I'm really happy with what I was able to read, so let's go ahead and start with the first title. So the first series that I did start reading was Love in Focus. SheGeeksOut has lined up some sort of like prompts, I guess you could fulfill for the Manga Love Readathon. And Love in Focus was sort of my reread title. I had read the first volume and a half before, so this wasn't new to me, but I had never read the ending. So this was volume 1 here, and I've got volume 2 with our two male leads on the cover, and then I have volume 3 with our shoujo heroine on the cover there. Love in Focus follows this girl. Her name is Mako, and her grandfather was a lover of photography. He taught her a lot of things about, sort of the art of photography and how to take pictures growing up. And her childhood friend, who is Kei here on the cover, she decides to go out and I guess room with him. They live in a boarding house together with the rest of the photography club, but she moved out to live with him and is reunited with him, and there at the boarding house she meets Amemura, who is this boy on the cover. He really despises photography and having his picture taken, despite having a very gorgeous profile and a knack for the natural, just being in the lens, being in the spotlight. And there's more of a backstory with him, of course, on that, but it's basically about the love triangle at this triangle roofed inn, which is a very appropriate name. And yeah, it's a really good little series. I think if you haven't been in shoujo for a while, or you're just wanting a really light romance, this one is a nice one to read. The only problem I would have with it was that I could have I thought all of the roommates were actually really interesting characters, so I wish we got more about them. Instead, it's very focused on these three. The others are kind of just, there to make you laugh and help to sort of move the plot along. But yeah, it's a nice little series. It's nothing super serious, and it does resolve nicely in these 3 volumes. So yeah, this is by Yoko Nogiri, and she is the creator of That Wolf Boy Is Mine. If you are looking for a short little shoujo read, go check out Love in Focus. I did like it. The next one I read is a really exciting title for me because it's not only been sitting on my shelf for a while, but I don't read a whole lot from this, and this is A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow, and this is by Makoto Hagino. I read the first 3 volumes of this sort of slice of life Yuri series. It's a very lighthearted read, and I really enjoyed it because I don't actually own a lot of Yuri manga series. And so, to be able to sort of just deep dive right into a girl's love romance, this, again, very innocent series. This one just feels really slow moving, but in a really good way. The characters are really innocent and honest and earnest with each other. And actually, if I had to look at it, that's pretty much a common theme for everything that I read over this past weekend. But yeah, I really like Makoto Hagino's artwork. This is about a young girl. I believe her name was Konatsu. She is sort of the chestnut or blonde colored hair girl on the front, and she moves out to sort of the boonies. It is a small seaside town where she will go to school. There she runs into Koyuki Honami, and she is sort of the, I guess, club president of the aquarium club. The only problem is that the aquarium club only has 1 member in it, and so this is about Konatsu sort of joining the aquarium club, and they slowly fall in love and they have feelings for each other. And again, this is another very innocent read. I especially like the character's art style on this one. It reads very quickly, so I think if you are looking for a quick Yuri manga read, then this is going to be great for you. There's only 3 volumes here that I have, and I think there are at least 7 in print. I'm not sure where this ends, but yeah, I enjoyed this, and I do plan to pick up the rest of it. The next read was a highly anticipated one for me because these have been sitting on my shelf forever. I did mention this in my TBR, but this is Let's Dance a Waltz by Natsumi Ando. This is a complete 3-volume kind of shoujo romance with a sports flavor to it, and I really enjoyed this one. It's very nostalgic for me of my love for Welcome to the Ballroom, which is part of the reason why I picked this up in the first place. Aside from that, Natsumi Ando definitely did her research when it comes to ballroom dancing, not only as, a sport, also the emotional baggage that can come with it sometimes. There's small little interviews and things that how she crafted the manga and people that she talked to when she was making this. And yeah, it turned out really well. I quite like this. It tells a really big story in a very small amount of time, but I think that's okay because of the way that the characters interact with each other. But this is about a young girl here. Her name is Hime. Let's see. This is Hime right here. And as you can see, she's kind of a clumsy girl. She doesn't think of herself as very pretty. And so when Tango-kun here, and I think his name is actually Tango, but it is, I think it's Japanese, so I think it's pronounced Tango. Anyway, this boy right here meets her, and he, thinks that she looks like a girl to him and kind of confronts the bullies about it. And she falls in love with him from there on, and she decides that she is sort of destined to dance with Tango-kun, and this is about the relationship of these four, so it is a kind of quartet clash of personalities in this romance triangle, I guess. It's really spoilery to describe some of it, especially in the latter volumes for some of these characters. But again, this one has excellent focus on the characters, on the relationship, on the drama between them. And I really love the way that it moves from a very light shoujo romance in this first volume to featuring more of the sports edge and, the activity, the competition, the scoring system, just the athletics of ballroom dancing in volume 2, and then it very nicely wraps up all of the character drama in 3. So it is very much sort of a play in 3 acts, and I really enjoyed this read from Kodansha, and it's very nice to get through another series on my shelf, and I'm glad that I will be keeping this one for a long time to come. This one definitely has sort of an older shoujo style to it, even though I think it was, not too old of a publication. So if you're wanting something that feels nostalgic, but maybe not necessarily is, check out Let's Dance a Waltz. All right, and the last 2 volumes that I had were single volumes. I did start with the volume 1 of Comey Can't Communicate. This was a recommendation from so many people in the community. Wow. And I enjoyed this. It's a lot more slapsticky humor than I thought it would be. It almost reads like a 4-coma, but it's spread out. This single volume has 20 or 19 chapters. Again, each chapter would only then be just a couple of pages, but it's a lot more on the funny side than on the serious side. But anyway, this one is about Comey here on the cover, and she has, some sort of social anxiety when talking to people and interacting with others, and it is about this ordinary boy, Tadano, and he meets her, and he takes an interest in her, and decides to help her make 100 friends, which is one of her goals as a high school student. It's a lot more on the humor edge, of course. I would show you some of the character things. Let's see if I can find some really wacky expressions. There are scenes here that are clearly very comedic in terms of the way that the story was taken. This is, I believe, a shonen comedy by Tomohito Oda. So I don't know if I'm going to keep going with this physically, or if I want to go digitally, or if I just want to check it out from a library. But I really did enjoy this first volume. I'm glad I gave it a read, and I'm really glad that I picked it up. And the last volume that I did read for the readathon was volume 1 of The Young Master's Revenge, and this is by Mechatronica. Of all the series here, I really especially like the art style in this. This is your classic shoujo. Not that the others aren't, but this is definitely the boy and the girl with the really big eyes and, beautiful figure. And this is about Leo, the boy on the cover. He was deeply humiliated and quite literally has scars from something that happened in his childhood. And it is about how, as he gets older, he wants to take his revenge on Tenma, who is the young girl who humiliated him as a child. The only problem with his plan is that 10 years later, when he is reunited with Tenma, it turns out that Tenma's whole family's fashion company, I guess, kind of went under, and they had to sell off a lot of things. And so Tenma is kind of out left fighting and fending for herself, whereas Leo is still, he is the nouveau rich. His family has risen up in sort of this society. And so it is about the wealthy now taking sort of an advantage, a comedic advantage, it's lighthearted, over the poor and sorry Tenma. But of course Tenma has feelings for Leo as the series goes along, and it starts to get difficult for Leo to want to exact his long planned revenge on this girl that he is now slowly falling for. I believe this one is only 4 volumes, and I definitely want to pick up the rest of this. Again, it's more on the funny side than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a little bit more serious, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought the characters were gonna look a little older than what they do here, but that's completely fine. I'm definitely looking forward to the rest of this. I'll try to pick it up maybe in like a Viz Media sale, because yeah, this is just a Shoujo Beat title. But yeah, The Young Master's Revenge. I really like the artwork, I really like the characters, it all works quite well. And so, yeah, I really had a lot of fun with the readathon. I was able to fulfill most, if not all, of the prompts that Shay gave out, which not only makes it more of a challenge, but it also feels like you're part of sort of this manga community. I really like being on MangaTube, and I really like filming these videos, and I hope that you enjoyed watching this vlog-style video, this recap. I don't know when my next readathon is going to be, but if it's like this one, I'll probably join on a whim, and we will be back to talk more about all the things that I read. But for now, please let me know, what did you read for the Manga Love Readathon this past weekend? Definitely let me know down in the comments below. Or if you're reading any of these titles, let me know your thoughts. I really enjoyed all of the reads here, they're great. For more of me, you can find me on Twitter at Takuto Anime Cafe, and I run a blog of the same name that I will leave linked in the description below. You can also follow me on my Instagram at TakutoAC, again, for more of those manga, K-pop, and anime updates. I post on there more often than I used to now, so yeah, go check it out. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you, Shay, again, for hosting a wonderful readathon. I had a great weekend, and till next time, happy Valentine's Day!